Hi, everybody.
Hi,
How are you?
Great. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good.
And then I'm gonna let you run your slides. I think that's better.
What was that?
I'm gonna let you run your slides.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
Just
And
let
just-
me know when and I'll put it up.
Yeah. I'll let you run your slides when it's ready. Yeah.
Okay,
So
thank you.
when you start sharing screen, then we can't see each other anymore.
Okay, great.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ken, I think I saw you, Ken. Hello, Ken.
You're on mute. Okay.
Who's on mute?
Ken's on mute.
Okay, I'm gonna ask my own.
Can you hear us? Oh, here.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm doing well.
Okay, so I'll be introducing you after the session and right before the Q&A. So you give us a brief preview of next session.
Okay, well, I'll just sit back here and learn.
Oh, thank you so much for joining.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And nice to meet you here too.
Yeah, you as well.
Yeah.
I like your little setup there.
You like my setup? Okay, nobody commented on it. I was wondering.
I look like I'm watching TV. You're like a TV anchor.
Oh, thank you. I was waiting for people to give me compliments.
Love it.
And everybody's too shy to compliment on it.
I feel so close. I feel like I need to back up.
What backup? You mean you're sitting close, you're saying, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I got my setup. Yeah. I think we can let everybody in right now. I'm gonna unmute all for now and then because only 5 minutes, yeah. Five more minutes. Do we have Larry online?
I see him.
I thought I saw him.
Yeah.
Hello, Larry.
I don't know what happened.
What happened?
I don't know. All of a sudden, you're not there anymore. Launch meeting. I'll come back in.
Okay.
God, you're already here. Oh, Zoom meeting. There we go.
Technical challenge, right?
Okay, cool. Okay, we're back.
glad we still have power today.
Yes. Let's keep our fingers crossed.
Well, they said they're gonna give us 90 minutes notice, right? So if they haven't given me notice, that means, hopefully that means we have power for the next 90 minutes.
Oh, good. Yes.
Oh, how do I?
How do you want?
No, I thought it was a spotlight. How do I undo the spotlight? I didn't do spotlight, right?
I did it. I spotlight.
Okay.
I spotlighted too. You did.
I thought I clicked on something, but that's not, okay, I didn't do that, okay. Okay, it's 5:30. Let's get started. Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me today for our live stream seminar, part 1 of the Real Estate Buyers series. I heard something. Buyers, are you ready? Today's topic is about the importance of having and understanding the natural hazard disclosure report, the property inspection report, and home warranty plan. We're also streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, 一直播, Weibo, and TikTok. Today, we're going to be speaking with a natural hazard disclosure specialist and home warranty representative, as well as an owner of a property inspection company who is also a very experienced property inspector himself. Our 2 guests will share with us their knowledge and experience to help us understand better those important reports. Today, we also have a special prize for a raffle drawing. Don't forget to register for this free raffle drawing. The registration form is available in the public message to everyone in Zoom. Mila, did you drop the message in there? We can have everybody register right now. By the end of the session today, we'll be doing the drawing today.
Yeah, we'll drop.
Okay. Hi, my name is Coco Tan. I'm a realtor with Keller Williams Realty in the San Francisco Bay Area. If you wish to receive the latest videos and seminar updates, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I have a big QR code here on my wall. Today's topic is about natural hazard disclosure report, the property inspection report, and home warranty. The San Francisco Bay Area real estate market remains very hot and demand is still very strong because buyers understand that the Bay Area is still a great place to live and to invest. Mortgage interest rates are also at historically low levels. According to the California Association of Realtors weekly update on August 5th, 2020, buyer demand, particularly here in California, remains very robust. Mortgage applications nationwide remained more than 20% above 2019 levels, and requests for showings in California are more than 90% higher than they were at this time last year. The low real estate inventory has turned the real estate market into a very competitive and fast-moving market. According to the Association of Realtors, the median days on market for a listed detached single-family home in Santa Clara County is only 11 days. That is down 8.3% year to year. In San Mateo County, the median days on market is only 10 days. That is down 23.1% year to year. In Alameda County, the median days on market is 13 days. Due to the competitive nature of the current real estate market, it is important now more than ever for buyers to be educated on all the many different topics essential in the real estate purchase transactions. buying a home is indeed a big milestone in a person's life. It can be an overwhelming and confusing process. So it's always important to enlist professionals to help guide us step by step. In my 17 years as a real estate professional, I've found that natural hazard disclosure report tends to be the most confusing for many buyers. That's why I invited a specialist to help us understand this report better. Our first guest is Annette Kalik, a natural hazard disclosure specialist and home warranty representative. Annette is the area manager of First American Home Warranty and area manager of JCP LGS Disclosures. Annette has been in the industry for 20 plus years. She was a credit reporting account executive for 12 years, a realtor for 3 years, and have been with First American for over 6 years. Annette is amazingly involved in the real estate community, and she's on the Platinum Affiliate Committee at Bay East. Her recent awards include being awarded by the WCR Alameda County as the 2019 Affiliate of the Year and by the Bay East Association of Realtors as the 2018 Affiliate of the Year. Welcome, Annette.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us today.
My pleasure. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, so let's get started with the very basics. Do you want to go over what is the natural hazard disclosure and why is it required by law, and what's the parts and sections in the report, and what's the most important thing to pay attention to?
Great. Thank you. Can I share my slide, please?
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you. Okay. Can you guys see this okay?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay, great. So thank you again for your introduction, Coco. Nice seeing you all here today. We're going to go over our natural hazard disclosure first. And I don't know why this isn't moving. There we go. So what is a natural hazard disclosure report? It's a California specific report that sellers and brokers must obtain for the buyers to disclose if the property being sold lies within one or more state or locally mapped hazard areas. The 6 required hazard zones are disclosed on a statutory form called the Natural Hazard Disclosure Statement. This is the one-page sheet that you will see in just a minute here. So there are 6 main things that are disclosed, 6 main high-risk zones that are disclosed. 2 are fire, 2 are flood, and 2 are earthquake. This is the statement that I was just referring to that you will see in a package when you are in a real estate transaction. This is the only form that you will need to fill out. Although the whole package needs to be reviewed, this is the only form to fill out. This is a closer look. You will notice the 6 special areas that we talked about, the 2 flood, 2 fire, and 2 earthquake. This form is asking, it's letting you know, is your property in a special flood high area zone? What does that mean? An area identified by the U.S. Federal Emergency Management Agency as an area with a special flood or mud flow and or flood-related erosion hazard as shown on a flood hazard boundary map or flood insurance rate map. These 2 codes are A or V as noted on here in the first question. A or V means the likelihood of them having a potential flood is 1% in the next 100 years. If you see this, you will then receive a special flood certificate from us. Let me go there, sorry. That looks like this. And in the highlighted area on letter D, it's going to tell you, is the actual home in a high-risk flood zone area, or is it maybe somewhere on the property? So the lenders want to know the home on the property, the structure, is that specifically in a risk to be flooded? If, let's say, you live by a lake or by a canal or whatever, if the property has, let's just say you have a guest house towards the back of the house, if that is in the flood zone but not the actual structure of your main house, then the answer would be no. Or let's say your fence line is in a high flood zone, the answer would say no here. So our flood certificate will specify exactly if your structure/home is in a high-risk flood zone, which normally will require flood insurance through your homeowner's insurance. Going back to this, in our report, there's a summary sheet. And in the summary sheet, it's going to tell you 3 different areas. The state is going to give you their opinion, the county is going to give you their opinion, and the city is going to give you theirs. So coming in closer, it's going to look like this. So you may see conflicting answers. For example, the state may show that the flood zone is in a special flood zone area that's high risk, but your county may show that it is not, or vice versa. And in this case, the fault zone is showing it is not in the state information, but the county is showing it's in. So people will often ask, okay, well, what is the right answer? There is no right or wrong answer. This is letting you know the state is looking at it at a broader view. So as the county zones in closer, they're going to have different rules or different county, rules that they have that are they're going to know more about the county because they're closer in. And then the city, of course, is going to know way more about their specific city. So for example, if you are trying to add a driveway extension, who would you go to for a permit? That would be the city. So in order to get that permit, the city would for sure have to agree with whatever you were doing, and they would let you know their findings. That does not mean the state one's wrong. It just means they all have different guidelines, different rules, and looking at it in a broader or closer area. So going forward, what are leaking underground storage tanks? So the most type of contamination comes from leaking underground fuel storage tanks and piping systems. Underground tanks are common throughout California. So these tanks are mainly, if you guys see this, I can actually help you find exactly by this little website right here that I have at the bottom of here. It's a fabulous resource for you that you enter your property address, and it will tell you, for example, if you had a gas station down the street from your house 20 years ago, and they were afraid that some oil leaked under there, they're going to tell you exactly, oh, in 1999, there was a gas station there. And in 1999, in October, we had a cleanup and it was all taken care of. It will be very specific and tell you what is going on with that. The main thing you need to know about this report is that it's not something you need to study and learn all the time. It's who to call when you have a question. When you're in a contract, they're going to be property specific. So we have a geologist on staff that is welcome to get involved and dive in deeper when we need to. We're just giving you a little rundown of what to look for. So for example, the yellow little lines are where the major earthquake fault zones are in the Bay Area. So you will see kind of runs all over. The main fault lines are the San Andreas fault line, Calaveras, and Hayward. This is showing the PG&E. I'm sure you guys all heard about the San Bruno pipeline, gas pipeline explosion. And this is showing you where the main major PG&E transmissions are, where their gas pipeline transmissions are. Again, you're in California, you're going to have earthquake zones, you're going to have these high risk things. It doesn't mean to scare you. It means to have you be aware so that we can look into what's really going on and you can make a decision once you know. It's just to make sure we're disclosing this. I wanted to also touch on, so the earthquake faults again. Sorry, here, check my notes here. So regulatory zones surrounding the surface traces of active faults in California would be what they call an earthquake fault zone. So it's primarily, you will see the areas that are affected the most are in the earthquake fault zone, but not always. So it just depends. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there for a second and see if Coco, if you wanted to ask any questions on NHD before I go to the home warranty side.
Sure. I was wondering, maybe you can give a little more detail on what is considered a landslide zone versus a liquefaction zone. You just get some concepts so people always wonder, what would be the definition of the zone?
Sure. Okay, so, and I thought I had a slide on that, so I apologize. Okay, so the landslide zone is a land area that is subject to mass earth movement due to a combo of geological, topographic, and hydraulic factors with the vertical weight of 10 feet or more. So a landslide would be more like if you're driving around, say, Santa Cruz, you're on your way to Santa Cruz and the mountains are there and you see the different, the elevation, and you might see rocks kind of sliding and that type of thing. That is considered more of a landslide. Where liquefaction, I like to describe it as like quicksand. So liquefaction is just like when an earthquake happens, the dirt turns into sort of a liquidy substance, and that can kind of act like a very minor quicksand. So that's the two differences of those. And I actually wanted to talk about the wildland area for fire and the high fire severity zone. So any geographical areas designated per government code section 51178 to contain vegetation, topography, weather, and structure density to potentially increase the possibility of wildland fires. So like right now, you notice a lot of fires going on. And of course, we just had thunder and lightning and all of that. But lately, the last couple of years has been a lot more fires. And so because of this, they want people to be aware and be prepared. A wildland area would be more like a forest fire. So if you're in more of a forest type of area, that would be considered the wildland area of a fire substance. Okay, Coco, I know we're limited. Should I go to the next?
Well, yeah, let's move on to the home warranty section and then save more questions for later.
Great. So what is a home warranty? A home warranty is a 1-year renewable service contract designed to protect your household budget from unexpected costly repairs or replacement of home systems and appliances. When a covered item breaks, you contact us by filing a claim online or calling in, and we'll assign a pre-screened service provider to diagnose and repair or replace the item. It is really that easy. What does a home warranty cover? We offer plans and options to choose from to best suit your home's specific requirements. Basic plans typically cover kitchen appliances, water heaters, plumbing, electrical, heating systems, and more. Optional coverage is pool, spa, equipment, washer, dryer, kitchen, refrigerator, air conditioning. We have well pump, septic tank, and also better coverage within. So we call that first class plus, first class upgrade, plumbing plus. Home warranty plan coverages vary by region. And if the home is involved in a real estate transaction, or if you're a homeowner and you're looking for a home warranty, I can help you with that as well. And going through me, if you're not in escrow, I can waive your 30-day waiting period. And I can also save you about $150 compared to calling us directly at the 800 number. I often get asked, what is the difference between a home warranty and homeowner's insurance? Home insurance is usually required by your mortgage lender, and it protects the structure of your home against risks such as damage from severe weather and theft, and secondary damages resulting from system and appliance failures. Home insurance also protects you personally from liability in the event that someone is accidentally injured on your property. A home warranty protects many of your home systems and appliances that you rely on daily. When the system and appliances inevitably fail over time because of normal wear and tear, a home warranty will repair or replace them, and there is a $75 service fee every time you place a claim. But if you place multiple claims at once and it's the same type of technician, like let's say your washer, dryer, and kitchen fridge all break at the same time, that is one service fee if you place them together. And with my relationship with Coco, we have worked out a special deal that in your escrows, we will waive your first service fee as a courtesy to you, and I will pay that for you. So if you're placing a home warranty claim, and let's say your pipes are leaking and they have damaged your floor, you would actually place the home warranty claim to fix the pipe that's leaking, but your home insurance would take care of the secondary damage if you choose to get them involved. How does a claim process work? So when you need to place a claim, the fastest and easiest way is online. But if you are in escrow and you just closed within 3 weeks, please reach out to me directly and I will help you myself, as it will show it's not paid yet. Title usually pays this for you, and it takes a few weeks to get there. So we don't require that it's paid the first 30 days. We will take care of that for you and go on the honor system. That title check is coming. So you can contact me, but after that, you can go online. I would recommend online instead of calling in. That's the fastest, easiest way. One thing we just started about a year ago in our basic coverage, we offer rekeying. So if you just moved in your home and you want to get your locks rekeyed, we are proud to add this as part of our basic coverage. So you close escrow, you give me a call or email or text, and I place the claim for you. And again, I'm going to waive that first service fee. So what does this mean? You can get up to 6 locks rekeyed, and rekeyed does not mean recoded. So there's recoding is different. And we will fix up to 6 locks and give you up to 4 keys that all match. So this is a great extra benefit.
One thing I want to mention, you have to have a key before you can rekey. So make sure you have the old keys.
Yes.
Before you reach out to home warranty. Yeah.
Thank you, Coco. She's right. So if you don't have the key for some reason, they can still help you, but the locksmith that you're assigned will have their own special pricing on picking the lock. It's usually around $25, $30. So when you're first getting ready to close escrow and you want to see, your final walkthrough, these are some items that you'd like to check on your walkthrough checklist. Just some good little points to see what's going on. But that's going to segue me into why you need a home inspection. So
yeah, this is like if you can read that checklist, that's very sophisticated,
Sure.
That's a very sophisticated checklist. I think some of the items probably require a trained professional home inspector or contractor to help you verify if they are in good working order. For
Correct.
example, HVAC should be checked by an HVAC specialist instead of just, a homeowner, right? So it is a good idea that I actually have a professional home inspector online right now to help us understand the details better. Yeah. So joining us now is Larry Tringali, owner of Property Inspection Service, a home inspection company. Property Inspection Service was started in 1982 and was the first property inspection company in the Bay Area. The company had 11 franchises all around the Bay, which were all sold off as competing companies, and the office in San Jose still retains the name. Larry has been involved in real estate in the area since 1976 and was asked to take over the ownership in 2012 when the founder of the company retired. He and his son, Chris, now operates with 3 inspectors and an office staff. Their mission statement is big enough to serve you and small enough to care. Hi, Larry.
Hi, kids. How you doing?
Thank you for joining us today.
So I hope everybody's air conditioning is working really good.
Yeah, for the ones who have air conditioning, right?
Right,
yeah.
Right.
So from your many years experience, what would you consider the most important part of a home inspection, Larry?
The most important part is something that I'm going to save as a teaser. I'm going to get to in a minute. First, the biggest question I get is people who call up who don't know. They say, "Well, what is a home inspection? Like, what's a home warranty and what's home insurance?" So I'm going to tell you now what a home inspection does and what we don't do, and then within that, I'll tell you what's the most important aspects to pay attention to in a report. What a home inspection does is, as opposed to a termite. There's a termite inspection. Termite is licensed to look for destroyed wood from water, just the environment, dry rot, and bugs. That's all they can do. They can see a piece of wood and stick it with a fork or something, see if it goes in. They can probe wood. We cannot. That's their realm. They're looking for water damage to wood. What about the rest of the house? That's in the 70s. No one else looked at the rest of the house and it was a big void. So what we do is when our guys first get there, they walk around the perimeter. They're going to be looking for obvious signs of drainage where it might be draining towards the house. Look for if the fences might be falling over. Anything that they can see on the outside, cracks in the windows, they'll walk the whole perimeter and make a submission about that. Cracks in the sidewalk where it could be a trip hazard. Then when they're done with the outside, then they'll go inside. And when they go inside, the thing that the homeowner has to have accessible is there's going to be a crawl space up into the attic. You have to have that space available. They're not going to move a bunch of brooms and stuff to get in there. And then normally in a master closet somewhere, there's access to the sub area. They have to have that cleared off. If there's a big box or something there, the agent might be vacant and say, oh, just move that box. They are not allowed to touch anything. In the past, home inspectors would go in, move stuff. They'd say, hey, that was a $2,000 vase in there and you moved the box and you broke it. So that made that real simple. One lawsuit later, touch nothing. You see a box, tell the homeowner, someone else, hey, you move that box with the $2,000 vase in it. I ain't gonna do it, and I'm gonna take a picture of you doing it. So have it accessible. Then first thing they'll do is go into the home and turn all the water on. They'll turn the flush the toilets 4, 5, 6 times, maybe up to 10 times. Have the sinks running. Have the run the washer, dryer, just the washing machine, just to see if it turns on and get some water in there. What they're looking for is leakage. They want all the bathtubs, the sinks, everything to run for at least 10 or 15 minutes. So at the end of the inspection, when they go underneath, if something's going to be leaking, they need it to get from wherever it's leaking out of, get through all the pipes, get through the walls, get through everything, get through the floor, and get down where they can see it. So first thing they'll do is turn the water on. Then they'll go up into the attic. When they go into the attic, if the attic has regular insulation, insulation comes in 2 forms. One is blown in. They just have a big hose, blow it all in, and it looks like a bunch of sawdust laying all over the place. They cannot crawl in that because that has fumes in it and fibers. It's in the air. And that's what's bad about asbestos or bad about insulation is it's in the air. If it's regular, and nowadays no one does blow in anymore. They have, you can go to Home Depot and see it. It's these big thick, they're about this thick, plastic on the top, plastic on the bottom. It's a big roll. It's rolled in. It's rolled in. They will go into that area and look to see if they see leakage or if they see anything that just sort of is out of place. A wire that's sticking up that shouldn't be sticking up. They'll do whatever they can in the attic. Then they'll come down through and go room by room. They'll go into the bathrooms. What are they looking for in the bathrooms? Pretty much the same thing that the termite guy was looking for, only we will look for things like in the electrical. We'll test the circuits to make sure it's grounded. By the way, if there's water, you see the regular socket, everyone knows what that look like. Sometimes you see those sockets with a little red button in the middle. What's up with that little red button? Well, that little red button is if you're near water, you could get electrocuted. If you drop a hairdryer in there, it could come right through and zap you. So wouldn't it be clever if they had something on those plugs specifically near water that if too much power comes through and says, hey, this might kill someone, it kicks off. That's what those little things are. And that's that little red button is. If the button trips, it's popped out, it's not working. Hey, someone's dead on the end, but take care of them before you fix the stupid socket. So if you see that, you push the little red button back in, now it's activated and that's working. Then they'll go through in the bedrooms. All they're looking for in the bedrooms is cracked glass. If there's a hole in the wall, sure, they'll say it, but they're not looking for a cosmetic thing. They're not looking for, gee, the paint in here looks horrible. There's a hole in a carpet. Nothing cosmetic. We're looking for function. Does the house function? Carpet, if it's got a hole in it, it's still a carpet, still work. Paint, the wall pretty much, if it's got a hole, will say something. Even though it's working. That's just sort of obvious. Then when we get to the kitchen's a big deal because the kitchen has a lot of appliances. They're not going to see, is the cleaning element going to work in the oven? Does the timer work? They just turn the elements on and off. Is this going to cook? Yes. The dishwasher, they'll run a cycle. you know, and they'll check it every so often. They can hear it. If it shuts off in 10 minutes, say there's something wrong with this sucker. But normally they go through the whole cycle. Same thing with the washer and dryer. They'll just see, did they come on? Did they do, you know, a little bit of time as a cycle? And then that's that. Then they're going to go the most important place. Now water's been running up. So now they're going to go underneath. And when they go underneath into the crawl space, now we're looking for the deal killer. When you get the report's going to have, maybe a normal report will have, let's say 10, 12 pictures. 10, 12 pictures is a normal house around here. If you've got like 20 pictures or more, it's an old house with issues that have been there for a long time. You don't have to fix them. Like the windows stuck. I mean, the house, I bought a house in 77, built in 1935. When we moved in, most of the windows downstairs were stuck in paint. And the ones that we really wanted, where the wind came, I unstuck the ones on one side, unstuck the ones on the other side. In the front of the house, the wind never came there. I sold the house there. And they said, why? And go, well, maybe the next guy wants to fix those windows. He wants it open. Let him unstick the windows. I don't care. So I tell that story to buyers. If you want to fix it, fine. If you don't, leave it for the next guy, because the guy before you didn't care. You're not getting a brand new house. So when you see the report and you see things that are slightly wrong, that's okay. Like also, if you get a home that's old, there might be sloping in the floors. Okay, the floors slope. Every year it's going to go down maybe 1/8 of an inch. So if you're there for 15 years, you're going to notice more sloping. So you can spend 30, 40,000 fixing the foundation, get little jacks, pump it up so it's not going to do that anymore, or just live with the slope, or don't buy the damn house. If you want a house, if you need it to be flat, don't get that one. There's plenty of flat houses out there. Don't buy it and then complain to everybody, who's going to fix my floors? Well, no one. They were bent when you got there and they're still bent. So deal with it or else don't buy it. So when we go in underneath the foundation, the most expensive problem we find, all this other stuff I was talking about isn't necessarily a deal killer. You can live with the house. But here's the deal killer. We might go down there and see huge cracks in the foundation. Now, huge cracks in the foundation are two types. There's vertical cracks, horizontal cracks. Vertical cracks are there. They're just vertical cracks. The thing about what makes a crack bad for a foundation is that water might get to the rebar. The rebar is, that the metal stuff. You see it sticking out of cement all the time. That iron bars, that keeps the cement strong and together. If it wasn't for that, you could kick cement after a little bit and it would just disintegrate away because it doesn't have anything strong in there that's bonding onto, holding onto. Cement's holding onto that rebar. So for the vertical crack, that's not too bad because if water was to penetrate the top of that, chances are it's just going to go right straight down. It's not going to get a big area. Maybe you'll get an area of 1/4 inch. Take 1/4 inch of rebar out. Who cares? It wasn't that important. But what if it's a horizontal crack and it's like 15 feet long? Whoa. What if it's also on the outside of the house and where the water comes down off the stucco, then it hits that crack and there's a lip sticking out. That lip sticking out is catching all the water, having the water sway back into the foundation, hitting that rebar. You take 15 feet or 10 feet, even really 5 feet out of rebar, you're going to have issues. So that rebar is going to start to disintegrate. And when it disintegrates, the beginning of that disintegration process is a crack. Everywhere we go is minor cracks. And this is the most common question for people. They call up and they say, my report says there's minor cracking. Is there a picture? No. And this is me responding. Is there a picture? They say no. You know why there's no picture? No, why? Because the crack is so small, it wouldn't show up on a picture. If there was a picture of it, we're saying it's been here for a while. You might want to investigate this. Okay, now investigating this it's going to cost you like $250 to get a foundation guy out there to tell you what to do. And this is what he's going to tell you. Here, save you $250. He's going to look at it. If it's 1/4 inch or less, and the ground around there doesn't look like it's gone down. I mean, you can look when you're underneath, you can see the foundation coming down, the cement coming down, and you can look at the ground there, and you can see if it's sunk like 3 or 4 inches. Whoa, there's something going on here. You need to take care of that. But if it's just a crack and you don't see the ground is sunk, something is causing this ground around here to sink. I wonder what that could be. So then you go out and look at the outside of where this is and look and see, oh, there's a planter box there, a little nice brick planter box that some unknown little sweet little old lady's been standing with a hose dumping water for 15 years to keep her little plants happy. She's dumping water in this one spot. The water has had the dirt in that spot condense and go down. And because it condensed and went down over a long time period, the ground underneath the foundation sunk maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches. Or what if there was an air conditioner on the air conditioning sitting outside on that cement slab? You know, it gets real cold. Air, like today, air is hitting it. The air the hot air hits it, all the moisture in there, hits that cold stuff, turns into drops. What do the drops do? Gravity says, come on down to the cement, sit on the cement. Oh, hell no, we're not sitting on the cement. We're getting off the cement, going into the dirt. That's another thing. So air conditioning units cause the ground around there to condense, sink, or watering. Or look at where the downspout is. In the olden days, they just had a gutter, a downspout, and the downspout went out like 3 inches. A lot of good that did. It didn't make it go anywhere. It's still sitting right there. So nowadays, homes now, there's the gutter, the downspout goes into the sewer system. It goes right into the ground, into the sewer system. It doesn't stay on the property at all. So when you're walking around a property, this is for you. We go underneath. You're probably not going to crawl underneath and notice that. But when you're walking around a property, you can kind of tell. Look at the sidewalks. Look at the sidewalks. If they look like they're sloped a little bit towards the towards the stucco, you know what that means. For a long time, that water's been coming down the stucco, hitting the sidewalk. Instead of swaying away, it's not. So then you'll want to pay particular attention to the report. If it's a slab, you're obviously not going to crawl underneath there. In the slab, it's a whole different thing. They could have that ground, the sidewalk sloping towards that. So then you go into the house. I mean, maybe it sloped in and maybe it went into the dirt. Maybe it never did go into the dirt. Maybe it's a big slab. It went from the outside slab to the inside slab. Maybe it never got to the ground. You can tell. You can look at the walls. The walls are sitting on top of that piece of cement. If the walls seem kind of cracky, well, then you know. One thing that is not a problem, though, now that we're speaking of walls, is when you go into almost any house, you look at a doorway. When you look above the doorway, you see there's these little 45-degree angle. You're going to see little cracks, little hairline cracks going off to that. Is that settling as an issue? No. Everywhere has that. Well, why does every house have that? Because every house is settling sort of at the same speed. You know, if it settles at the same speed, you don't notice anything. But what if you have one part of that house that's way stronger than the other parts of the house and they're settling a little bit more? What would make a part of the house strong? The part of the wall that's the strongest is where the doorway is. You've got those two big 4x4s coming up here. They have a big old header on the top. So when the wall above that, you know, towards the ceiling says, let's go down, it ain't going down. It can't go anywhere. It's got all this stuff soaked up. Well, what about 4 feet out? Can that go down? Sure. Nothing underneath me. There's some foundation 10 feet down. We can sink a little bit. We don't care. So they'll sink a little bit. That's during the summer. The summer, the ground goes down. Those little walls will sink, maybe a 1/4 inch. Winter comes. Oh, geez, winter, the ground fills up with water. It goes back up. But the crack is still there. So you go to stick your finger. You can't stick anything in the crack. If it's during the summer, you might be able to stick your fingernail in it. But during the winter, it's not. So what do? Just live with it. Nothing. When you go to sell the house, paint it. Pretend like, oh, my house never had cracks. It looks just fine. That's what everybody does. Every house is going to have some cracks, but you know, if they're painted or not. So don't worry about the cracks. And then now we're back to the slab. So if water's going the wrong way, look at the slab. You can tell if it's a big issue. You can tell. Is this flat? You're walking on cement, anything, even if you're blind, you can tell I'm walking down, I'm walking up. If it doesn't bother you, you're fine. Don't worry about slab versus the concrete perimeter. They're both fine. I happened to be raised in Palo Alto. We lived in a slab foundation. It was built in 1955. And now the people still living there, their foundations are still fine. The copper piping inside those foundations from the heating is still fine too. If you have copper, it lasts way longer than us. We'll be dust. Copper is still pumping the water out. So what do you do if you see the sidewalks sloping in towards your house? There's two things you can do. The simplest thing to do is just dig some dirt from the edge. You know, just dig some dirt, dig an inch out. You know, you might have to get a little spade, just dig it. You dig a little bit of dirt out. The thing is going to, instead of sloping towards the house, is going to start sloping away. Done. Then you'll notice, gee, but where the cement went up to the stucco, I've still got this little crack there. And I don't want the water to come right down from the stucco and go into that crack. So go to Home Depot, get some clear caulking. They got that clear stuff, you know, it's like toothpaste, only it's clear, and just shoot it along there. You want it to go at least 3 or 4 feet out. What about you've got a gutter and the gutter comes out and it's right there and it might be pooling. I mean, you'll know. I mean, you just water anything and you see a puddle of water. You can just get, they also at Home Depot have these little plastic sheaths and little plastic sleeves go right over the end of the gutter and just get it go out 3 or 4 feet away. You know, if the thing is still sloping towards you, it may go 10 feet. Wherever you do, just have the water go away from there to find some dirt and then you're fine. And above all, if you see, you know, if you've got a house that has a little brick planter, put some planters in there that contain the water. You're not going to be dumping hose right onto the plant going into the dirt. If you have a planter there, that'll restrict the amount of water. You know, the root should take most of it up. It'll restrict the amount that's going to go through those few little holes on the bottom. Then that's the house and that's the inspection. Then you get the report. The report's going to get like 15 pages, 15 pictures. Next day you look at it. And if you want to call, I mean, our company, fine. You can call us. You can talk to me. You can talk to the inspector. You can talk to anybody to be clear. But we will mostly try and make you feel good about the report and not be scared because there aren't that many scary things in there. While you are getting to the house, there's something you can self-investigate. It's when you walk up into the sidewalk. Some sidewalks in some areas are notorious for sinking. They used to be, you know, Blossom Valley. Why is it called Blossom Valley? Well, it used to be a valley, yeah. Blossom, why? Because you had a lot of trees. Where did they put the trees? Where it was hard dirt? No, they put the trees where it was soft dirt. Did they also maybe put the trees where the water sort of migrated automatically? Yes, exactly. That's why they did it there, because in the valleys, like the Indians probably planted all their crap out there because that's where the water went. We're calling it Blossom Valley. Duh, there's a hint. Almaden Valley also. Some areas of Willow Glen. You can in Almaden, you can't tell. The sidewalks look fine. But many areas in Almaden have sump pumps. Why do you have a sump pump? Because water just is close to the surface. Also, I lived in Palo Alto. Water was 6 feet down. During the big air raid shelter, me and my buddy were going to build an air raid, went to the city hall. You can't build an air raid here. You go down 6 feet, you're going to hit water. Oh, okay. So pools is a big deal in Palo Alto because it's too close to the bay, not because of any water. There's groundwater way down there. So when you're in Almaden, they have groundwater and they have clay. When you have normal soil, the water will go in and sink down. When you have clay, it sinks a little bit, but it doesn't sink too much. It just goes down and sort of stays there. You know, like another thing, the Indians probably went out there and got the damn clay to build the pots. They didn't live out there and put their teepees out there. That's where you went to get the pots. So if you do go to an area like Almaden, you want to live there, a sump pump is fine. The clay is not porous. So when the water gets down in there, where in the other foundations, it was going to sink underneath the foundation and the foundation was going to sag and you had an issue of cracking. Well, what if it doesn't sink in there? It doesn't sink in the clay, but you don't want standing water down there because if the water's standing underneath for too long, what bacteria and mold, I'm not supposed to say the M word, but you know, that stuff that's black and not good, it will start growing down there. It wants moist and warm. So if you live in an area that is closed in and it gets moist and there's water there, you're going to get the M word growing in there. What the thing down there, what they do is they have a sump pump. So if water's sitting there, and the sump pump is like at 1/4 inch, and you can, after winter, you live there. After winter, you look down in there, tell someone else to go down there, look and say, oh, geez, I see all these puddles. Fine. You just get some guy to go in there. He'll trench it. So all the puddles go to one spot. And they put a sump pump in there. And those stuffs have been down there for like 40, 50 years. Those sump pumps have been done. You don't have to worry about that. You go down there now, don't worry about it. And they also have good vents. Up here, you normally have to have a vent like every 10 or 12 feet, depending on the developer. You look at some houses, they might have vents every 4 or 5 feet. That means they went extra out of their way to make sure you got good ventilation underneath there, so you didn't have anything growing under that didn't need to. So that's one thing you can check. Some pumps tells you what's the ground like. And then the sidewalks. Look at the sidewalks. If you see sidewalks that look good for skateboarding, up and down, well, duh. When you go into those houses, the doors and windows are all going to shut fine, depending on the season. Then the next season, the ground will go. If it's summer, the ground's going to swell up. People call up and complain, hey, how come you didn't tell me this door was going to stick? Well, you know it wasn't sticking during the summer because the ground was down. And if you try and fix it, you can try and fix it. But when you fix it and shave a bunch off so it won't swell, it won't stick anymore. Well, during the summer when the ground goes down, now you're going to have, little critters are going to be crawling underneath your damn doors because you shaved the thing off too much. You can get these little plastic things. There's little plastic, like little plastic things, rubber things, and they will stick down. Sort of like what's in the bottom of your front door. Your front door is going to have a little rubber sheath there
Like
to
a
take
weather
up.
strip. Like
Yeah.
a weather strip. Yeah.
Like a weather strip. Yeah, thanks. Old guys, they forget stuff. A little weather strip, and you can adjust that. You push it down when you need it and lift it up when you need it. That's the best way to deal with the sticking, non-sticking.
Okay. Wow. That's very valuable information. You just have so much story to tell.
I make them all up anyhow.
Thank you, Larry, and thank you, Anatia. So for valuable information you two shared here. We have been streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and other platforms today, and we have actually compiled some questions that our viewers have for our guests. Before we get into the Q&A session, I would like to give you a quick preview of our next seminar of our Buyers series, Buyers, Are You Ready? Part 2. Joining us will be Vice President and Senior Lending Officer from Bank of America, Wilson Chai, speaking about lending, and also a credit management specialist, Ken Stray, speaking about credit scores. Wilson, are you here?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, thank you. Please give us a sneak peek of what we can expect from you to hear from you in 2 weeks.
Sure, I'll be happy to. I just want to say hello to everyone first. My name's Wilson Chai. I'm Vice President and also a Senior Lending Officer at Bank of America. Now, I've been in banking since 1988, and I've been with Bank of America since 2004. So I've been around for quite a long time. Now, recently with COVID, the interest rate has dropped very quickly and sharply. And right now, the interest rate is at the lowest level that I've ever seen in my career. So I think right now it's a good time to refinance and also to buy homes. Now, so during the next the webinar, I would like to give you some tips, insider tips on how to shop for mortgages. And I will give you the top 5 things to look for so that hopefully you can find the most suitable lender for your situations. And, hopefully you can save a lot of money and also have a very smooth experience at the same time. So I look forward to seeing everyone during the next webinar.
Great, thank you. Yeah, okay, and Ken, are you here? Ken? I thought you were on. Maybe we lost Ken.
Here we go. I think I was muted. Can you hear me now?
Oh, here I can. Yeah, if you can give us a quick preview of what we can look forward to, that'd be great.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Very good. So I can't hear you, but I think you're asking me to kind of give a overview of the next seminar. Well, I'm looking forward to it. This has been great information. The home buying process is filled with a lot of unknowns, and getting this information is excellent. My specialty is I work with credit, and basically my goal is to demystify credit for you. help you understand how credit scores work, help you understand what credit score is needed for you to do that loan, and more importantly, give you an action plan to improve. So look forward to the next event, and thank you again for the opportunity.
Sounds great to me. Thank you. So everyone, be sure to join us in 2 weeks, part 2 of our Buyers series. Buyers, Are You Ready? Seminar. Today, we also have a drawing. Our lucky winner will walk away with a 5-piece barbecue set. Please use the Google form for the entry. It is posted in the general chat in Zoom. We will end the registration for the drawing in the next, 5 minutes, so that my staff can actually have enough time to enter your names in a wheel of names and get ready for the drawing at end of today's seminar, which is about 10 minutes. So let's get into the questions and answers very quickly. So there is a question about flood, Annette. So Annette, when the lenders actually have requirement for flood insurance, is that the same when the lender run the flood search? Is that the same as the flood search you have in the natural hazard disclosure?
Yes, it is. It's the same. It's the same company that's providing for both of us. And the difference would be that when Coco lists your home, she pulls your natural hazard disclosure report right away. So you're going to see that right away. And hopefully, if you're making an offer on a home, they will have that for you to view in advance. So you will know that ahead of time as well. The lender will provide it, but usually it's a few days after you get ours.
Okay, so you can actually get a head start with reviewing the natural hazard disclosure.
Yes,
that's
the
great.
company that provides that for us is called CoreLogic, and that's the same company that most lenders use for that.
Okay, great. And then does home warranty cover the roof, the pool equipment? I think that's the optional items, right?
Those are optional items, and my honest opinion on a home warranty roof coverage is pay for a roofer to come and give you an inspection, and a lot of them have a 1-year warranty that they provide with their inspection, because a home warranty roof coverage is not my favorite coverage. I actually wish we wouldn't even sell it, but for any company, it's not my favorite coverage from a home warranty, and there's a few reasons why. It's about $100. It only maxes out at $1,000 of coverage. And it only covers the roof that is above living quarters. So if it's above the garage and nobody's actually living in the garage and for real, they won't cover that part. And it has to be due to current raining conditions, not just other issues. And there's not a lot of roofers that work with home warranty companies. So your wait period can be long. I don't recommend it.
Okay. And I remember there's somebody called, during the home warranty process, the repairman, do they really want the job or do they want to get rid of the job? What's your take on that?
Right. So the repairmen, they actually want to be able to work with us. They want to have something they can fix if they can, that's covered, because we have a department that really focuses on, are we getting complaints? Are we getting compliments? They can bonus out, they can be dismissed, because if we get any word that it looks like they're trying to upsell you or create something that's not there to fix, that's a huge no-no. So we are keeping track of that, and we will remove the technician. Most of our companies we work with are pretty big. They may have 40 technicians. So it's kind of like saying Kaiser is bad. It's not Kaiser. It's a specific doctor at Kaiser that may be bad. So we want to pinpoint who it is. And if the owner of the company is not taking care of it as we're letting them know these things, then we will remove the company completely.
Okay, great.
Question, we do cover pools. Pool spa is a combo, whether you have one or both. And that's $170-ish, depending on what coverage you have. And there's a lot of things that are not covered, but what is covered is saltwater cell, timers, heating units, valves, circuit board, filters, pool suite motors and pumps, above ground plumbing and electrical, pumps and pump motors.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then there's a question for Larry. Yeah. Larry, does home warranty, do property inspection check to see if trees are hurting the foundation?
Yes. Yes. When you go to a property, not all trees do that. And when you go to foundation, it's pretty obvious to see the roots are banging into it or not. Some roots are just not that strong, and they will go, I mean, trees right up next to a foundation or something, and you can see the tree's been there 20 years, 30 years, and the foundation has no cracking. Another thing you would look for is sometimes people would have had a tree outside, like at a corner somewhere, and you'll see the ground swell. If you ever see a tree stump just cut off, well, underneath that was the roots. Duh. They didn't take the roots out. The roots are still there. The roots may be 6, 8, 10 inches wide underneath the foundation. So when we go down there, depending on when it is, if that stump is there, the roots are still there. In time, those roots are going to decay. When it decays, they're going to just disintegrate, and that hole of 10 inches is going to be created, and anything above that is going to start sinking. So when you see a stump, that's really a big alert. I mean, our guys obviously know that. When you see a stump, you know, where's the damn roots? Are the roots still there? Then we'll tell them, you've got roots underneath here. It's fine now. It's only been maybe 2-3 years, but at some point, these roots are going to be gone, and all the dirt underneath the foundation will be gone. So then you got to take care of it. But
Okay.
again, you can tell. You can see the stump.
Okay. And then do you need a home inspection for a brand new house?
You know, when I bought the company, I've been an agent forever, and I thought, that is a waste of money. They're brand new. They have inspectors. Boy, was I wrong. There isn't, I'll just tell you, yeah, you do need it. You do need it. I had to go do one personally because it was just do the crawl, go underneath the crawl. The buyer wanted to do it and I said, okay, fine, I'll do it. We went down underneath the house, brand new place. And I had turned everything on. All the water was on, went underneath this house. We started looking around the foundation. Then I heard this noise running. I said, what's that noise? Sounds like running water. What the heck? And as we crawled closer and closer with the flashlight, we could see there was a white stream of something coming from the floor. The white stream was water. What was that? The master tub. So as we got closer, there was just a piece of white plastic coming down, plastic tubing came down, and they should have hooked it up to the sewer system. It was hooked up to nothing. It was just a plastic pipe going into nothing. And by the time we got there, there was like an area that was like, 5 feet by 20 feet, 2 inches deep. There was a little lake underneath there. Yeah, you need to check. You need one of us to go down after the city said, yeah, everything's perfect.
Okay. And then can we know the cost of repairs of the home inspection from the home inspection report when you have damages? Can you actually, so that before we put an offer, we know how much the cost will be? Because usually they give the cost for a termite report, but home inspection actually never gave out the cost.
Right, and that's in the guidelines. There is no, termite guys are licensed because they have to handle poison. Property inspectors are not licensed. You just join a group, and the biggest group is American Society of Home Inspectors, ASHI, ASHI. And ASHI sets a standard. This is what you do. This is what you inspect. Like, do we inspect alarm systems? No. How about, because there's too many different types. Do we inspect sprinkler systems? No, not really. We don't turn them all on, see this head good, this bad. As a matter of fact, home inspections and home warranties kind of cover the same things. If we don't inspect it, chances are they don't cover the same reasons. But in terms of the report and giving quotes, we are not allowed to do any work. So we are the ones that are fair. If we go down underneath there and say, I don't see any leakage here underneath the bathroom, it looks fine. And then a termite guy comes later and says, oh, $12,000 worth, knowing you're never going to go down there. We are the ones that we're not motivated by our personal gain. So no, we cannot give you a quote.
And what is a sump pump?
I don't know. It just sounds good.
No, what's a sump pump?
It pumps sump, whatever.
That's a question from the platform, from Zoom, yeah.
I don't know where the word came from, but it's standing water. It's a little water. It's a little flat thing. It's a circle, and it's about 10 inches around, and it's about 1.5 inches high, and it has these little suction areas around it. and you set that in water and it sucks the water in, shoots it up into hosing, and then out.
Okay.
Out to the ground, out through one of those little vents, one of those air vents. It shoots it away.
Okay, great. Thank you. So there are a couple questions that's more in general for the market. I have questions saying, hi, Coco, where do you see the Silicon Valley real estate market in the next few years? Considering Facebook and probably other tech companies are actually letting their employees working from home permanently, it seems like even rents may go down. You think it's still a good time to buy. And my answer is always, it's a great time to buy. I really think the demand is still very strong, at least from the current market right now. I don't see any slowdown. As I mentioned in the very beginning, I actually see the market is being more robust than pre-COVID-19. But we can actually have a discussion in a later session. Maybe we can invite the economists and tell us about the economy and then do some projections. So that will be our future topic. The next question is, what is the 30-year fixed interest rate now if the credit score is over 800 and a good financial situation of the loan amount over $1 million? Here we go. Wilson, are you still online?
Yes, I'm still here. So right now on 30-year fixed for purchase transactions, I will say you should expect somewhere around 3% without any points.
Okay, great. So that's over $1 million, right? Yeah.
Correct. That's correct.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay, so it's almost time as I end right now. Let's do our wheel of names. So
And I have the item right here.
Thank you, Annette. Annette is our proud sponsor.
Welcome. And Ken, nice to see you. I used to work with Ken in the credit world.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
So who's going to pull up the wheel of names? Anna, thank you. So Annette, since you are the gift giver, you're giving us a gift for this barbecue set. Why don't you say start or stop? I don't know how it works, but
okay,
go ahead.
I'll say start, and then it's going to stop on its own. So ready, set, go. Good luck. There we go. There we go.
Sandy is the winner. Yay! I don't know. Sandy, are you online?
Yes, I'm online.
Wonderful. Sandy, if you can leave us your email and then we'll get your address and then we'll have this gift shipped to you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. So make sure you leave us the message so we can follow up with you. Yeah.
Okay,
so
sure.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, thank you, everyone, so much. And thank you, Larry. Thank you, Annette, so much. And for this great information you shared with us. And thank you for the gift. I look forward to seeing all of you again in 2 weeks for our second series, for the buyer series, Buyers Are You Ready Part 2. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
So Coco, I leave a message in the chat window. Will that be okay, or do I need to do anything
Let me
else?
see. You left us an email too, right?
Oh, okay. Let me do that.
Let me see, Sandy. We just need your. I didn't see your message, Sandy.
Oh, in the chat window, I put privately because I put my address in there.
Oh, okay. How for some reason? Oh, maybe it's on my other computer. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Let me see.